So what we have here is a modified RXZ 135 ported to 140cc and a classic 150 Pulsar, the first generation with the single spark plug. Both are, as you see, aspiring to be scramblers or are scramblers. I'll tell you the differences that differentiates both of them. The RXZ 135 140, it has a yellow light, true to its origin, normal bulb. The Pulsar 150 has LEDs. Again, it's a personal choice, and I think it's a good option considering lighting is important during night rides. The suspension of the RXZ has been increased drastically, around 6 inches. You can see the difference over here. This is where the stock suspension ends. This is where the risers have been placed. The suspension has been softened a bit. The Pulsar 150 has taken suspension from the Pulsar 220. You can see it is slightly thicker. Now with reference to the RXZ, in order to keep the suspension from wobbling, this particular mudguard is metal. It's not only for looks but actually utility as well, so that the suspension doesn't wobble. In terms of the braking, the Pulsar 150, they have painted the brake pads, so it kind of looks, I think it goes with the overall look. Painted the cylinder head as well. The paint finish is amazing. The RXZ, it's gone with the typical 1970s Yamaha look, a matte blue with the Yamaha lines over here. Number 51 looks pretty decent as well. The Pulsar 150 is not completely over. I'm assuming they are going to patch this up. We are about to see how that is going to take place. The seating, this is a pretty comfortable two-seater, the Yamaha. The Pulsar 150, although it looks better, I'm not sure about the pillion, how in terms of the comfort. The exhaust, the Pulsar has opted for a free flow exhaust. Doubts on the legality aspect, but again, personal choice. In terms of the Yamaha, I had a free flow exhaust and looked pretty decent, but thanks to the checking, I have gone back to stock and it kind of looks good. This is an original RXZ exhaust, but obviously modified to a large extent. In terms of the wheels, just to give you an example, this is a 150 size tire. I have opted for an 100 size tire. You can notice the massive difference in terms of the tire size. The front tire is approximately 110 in size. My front tire is 90. The Pulsar Scrambler, true to the Scrambler appearance, they have got button tires in front as well as massive button tires in the rear. I've chosen for button tires in the rear, and with reference to my front wheel, a very different and unique and antique tire threads design, which it took me like 3 months just to source this particular tire. Now the preferences are different. Obviously, with reference to my tires, I've kept a lot of preference and weightage in terms of the strength of the rim. The front rim and the rear rim consist of the CBZ, Hero Honda CBZ. They are way heavier and way stronger, as well as double spokes. Double spokes is purely looks, but I'm assuming with looks it gives a little strength as well. Hence, since the double spokes and the heavy rim wood is anyways a certain liability with reference to the power, I've opted for thin tires. But again, let's see, once my tires wear out, I may opt for a thicker one as well. So with reference to the engine, this is a stock Pulsar 150. Apart from the free flow exhaust and the free flow air intake, With reference to this engine, this is not a stock engine. This has been ported to 140cc. It's got a free flow air intake. My exhaust has also been modified. My exhaust has also been modified to a certain extent. Again, in 1997 you didn't have any catalytic converter, nothing. It's anyways a free flow. So it's a very simple trick. You see this muffler? I've just placed the muffler around 2 inches, or an inch behind. This particular inch over here creates a certain echo which gives a loud exhaust sound. Even though it's stock, it doesn't sound like stock, and this is my preference. Now there's one similarity between both these bikes is the rear swing arm. The rear swing arm, as you can see, I'm not completely sure which swing arm is this, but this is definitely not the Pulsar 150 swing arm. It is longer and gives the bike a longer look. This particular swing arm is not of the RXZ, this is of the Yamaha Gladiator. Again, both these bikes have been increased by 2 or 3 inches. With reference to the suspension, the Pulsar Nitrox suspension over here, pretty good. And I have opted for the TVS Victor suspension, which is spring in spring. Again, this is very rare, and I think it just gives a really nice look. This particular white color goes with my white 51. Reference to the rear, as you see, the Pulsar 150 is not done. I'm assuming they may get some integrated lights over here, but that's for a later vlog. So another thing about scramblers or anything customized is about individuality, about how do I differentiate it. Number one, obviously the paint scheme. Both look amazing in its own respective ways. One thing that caught my eyes is the wooden foot peg. I think this looks damn cool. I have the standard Yamaha foot peg. I have opted for a customized raised handlebar, matte black, going with my bike. He has opted for a shorter scrambler. I mean, it comes between a scrambler and a cafe racer in terms of the handlebar. My handlebar is a bit wider, his is a bit shorter. Good for traffic. It's a little inconvenience, but that will do. Bar and mirrors over here. I had bar and mirrors, it looked cool, but I just didn't find it safe. So I've opted for conventional mirrors, but again, these mirrors are original Royal Enfield. So they look good. The chrome should remain. Considering it's a Royal Enfield, I hope the chrome should remain. The visibility is decent. Not the best, but much better than this, I would assume. In terms of the speedometer, he's opted for a customized speedometer. I'm pretty sure this is made in China. I wouldn't know how reliable this is. Initially I had opted for that Smith's speedometer. Again, that was also made in China. Lasted for 10 kilometers. Hence I thought I'll go for an original Yamaha speedometer. This is a Yamaha Enticer speedometer, so pretty reliable, and it looks decent. Similarity over here is we both opted for a left side speedometer placement. Looks pretty decent over here. And I think the only second similarity is since he has LED headlights, I too have LED headlights, really small ones. They are on right now. Should switch it off. Really small ones, but good enough. Again, I've tried to keep everything stock as per Yamaha standards. This is original Yamaha number plate, difficult to get. These rear headlights, I purchased it from Lamington Road. They look good, and surprisingly they are very reliable. These turning signals, again, they are pretty reliable. And I think to the best of my knowledge, I've covered up everything. That's about it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.